It's the second day of the month, and we are going through this second chapter of Proverbs, your daily dose of wisdom from the Bible, from God's Word. So we are going through chapter 2 today. And chapter 2 is about making insight your priority. Proverbs is a lot about wisdom and just how to live your life to the best that you can in order to get the best results that you can. And to do that, you need wisdom. And so I just wanted to share with you exactly what insight is, because I find people these days don't really know the meaning behind the words that they're using. We could go into that a little bit, but we'll just look into what insight is. And so dictionary.com says it is a penetrating mental vision or discernment, the faculty of seeing into inner character or underlying truth. It is an understanding of the motivational forces behind one's actions, thoughts, or behavior. It is self-knowledge, okay? So this chapter is making that your priority, making it your priority to understand the motivational forces behind people's actions and their thoughts and their behaviors, yours included. The Bible is not just a book about God and man and what God says about man. It's also a book about who we are as humans. God created us and he knows us, and you can get a lot of insight on just human nature from the Bible. So we're going to look at chapter 2. We are again reading from the Message Bible. Good friend, take heart. Take to heart what I'm telling you. Collect my counsels and guard them with your life. Tune your ears to the world of wisdom. Set your heart on a life of understanding. That's right, if you make insight your priority and won't take no for an answer, searching for it will be like a prospector panning for gold, like an adventurer on a treasure hunt. Believe me, before you know it, fear of God will be yours. You'll have come upon the knowledge of God. And here's why. God gives out wisdom free. It's plain spoken in knowledge and understanding. He's a rich mine of common sense for those who live well, a personal bodyguard to the candid and sincere. He keeps his eye on all who live honestly and pays special attention to his loyally committed ones. So now you can pick out what's true and fair. Find all the good trails. Lady Wisdom will be your close friend, and Brother Knowledge your pleasant companion. Good sense will scout ahead for danger. Insight will keep an eye out for you. They'll keep you from making wrong turns or following the bad directions. Of those who are lost themselves and can't tell a trail from a tumbleweed, these losers who make a game of evil and throw parties to celebrate perversity, traveling paths that go nowhere, wandering in a maze of detours and dead ends. Wise friends will rescue you from the temptress, that smooth-talking seductress, who's faithless to her husband she's married years ago, never gave a second thought to her promises before God. Her whole way of life is doomed. Every step she takes brings her closer to hell. No one who joins her company ever comes back, ever sets foot on the path to real living. So join the company of good men and women. Keep your feet on the tried and true paths. It's the men who walk straight who will settle this land, the women with integrity who will last here. The corrupt will lose their lives, the dishonest will be gone for good. So clearly, this is talking the majority about just getting some knowledge, getting some wisdom, and using that properly. The more that you search for wisdom, for insight, for knowledge, the more it will be a part of you. It's just like people say, no one can take away your education. So the more that you search for these attributes, the more that you search for insight and wisdom, just the smarter you become, the farther you can see into the future, the better you can organize not only your own life, but just be an example for others to follow. That's just how it keeps working. Someone who is knowledgeable can keep making success, not just monetarily, but in relationships. You should never stop learning how to interact with people, how to understand who is lying to you, who is telling you the truth. I think that's really important in our societies these days, especially as we're inundated with all this information all the time. You need to be able to filter what is truth. There's a lot of people that will tell you half truths, and you have to filter through that. And the more that you practice insight, the quicker you'll get to it, right? And so there's one thing that I wanted to say as I read Proverbs. A lot of times I can just hear the people on the internet, screaming in protest to it. So I want to talk about the fact that Proverbs sets the seductress up as a woman, which, if you're going to have a problem with that, I'm not sure what to tell you. But a lot of people take to heart, because it comes up in Proverbs quite a bit, the seductress as being a temptation for sexual immorality. And I think that's true. I mean, literally it's true. It talks about sexual immorality. It talks about, God created humans to have very intimate relationships. And so I think we can really see that with Hollywood right now, and sort of the crumbling of this culture that they've created there, that sexual immorality really doesn't lead to a fulfilled life. Just not taking pride in what you were created as, that you are an individual, unique person, that God created you. You are not supposed to use your sexuality to manipulate. You're not supposed to throw it away. You are supposed to value it. You're supposed to value your body. And in you valuing your body, you will show value to others, because how you treat yourself, you will treat others, right? But I also think that this seductress can be used for other things in life. It is really easy for us to be seduced by different cultures, by different groups of people who want to manipulate your thoughts and manipulate your actions into doing something for them, for their cause. And I just really want to warn you that you need to learn insight. You need to practice wisdom and ask for wisdom. You need to read good books about great leaders. You need to read the Bible, and Proverbs being a great place, because you need wisdom to be able to discern, especially these days. Not just, in the church world, which is always good. You always need to discern who is telling you the truth there, but you need it in the rest of the world. You need to understand the charitable organizations that you're giving to. You need to listen well to them, research them. You need to have that insight and knowledge and wisdom and understanding to be able to filter which ones are going to use your money wisely and which ones aren't. You need to use this politically as our political climate goes crazier and crazier. I'm not telling you who you have to support, but you need to use your mind, your wisdom, your knowledge, your insight. And if you don't have that, you need to spend a little time getting it and developing it. You need to know who you are supporting. As much as you as a person are valuable, your vote is very valuable. It speaks for what you stand for. So when you cast that ballot, it speaks for you. No one's perfect. Every candidate is going to have their flaw and not going to match up specifically with you, but you just need to have wisdom on that and pray about it. For any other sort of group or march or organization, don't just join something or retweet or repost for groups if you don't know anything about them. So be very careful about the seductive language of who they claim they are. People can claim they're many things. People, organizations, they can introduce themselves in any way that they want, but you need to watch them. You need to look at their actions. You need to read the full articles. You need to research the people behind it. You need to use your insight. You need to develop wisdom in knowing who it is that you are putting yourself behind. And I really think that if you continue with Proverbs and if you continue with your studying of the Bible, because there's lots of wisdom in there, that wisdom and that insight will just start coming to you quicker and quicker and quicker. If you like this video and you want notifications of more videos to come, please hit the subscribe button below. I am Kat Caldwell, and this is my channel, Floodlights.